to suicide 2 years ago. Since his death, she has opened up about her own mental health challenges online. In her blog, We Got This, she channels her sadness and grief into an opportunity to reach others. For our series Note to Self, Levitt shares a letter to her future self about her pain through her path through pain and her dreams through a bright future.
Dear future Dylan, I think about you a lot. I wonder where life will take you, and if your past still haunts you. Will you have that beautiful family you wished for? Or meet the man who would love every part of you? Even from the time you were young, you were a dreamer. You'd see yourself accepting an Emmy Award for your latest screenplay. Did we ever get to have that?
Come on, baby.
Little eyelids flutter 'cause you're dreaming
Do you ever allow yourself to think about the little girl we used to be? She was so kind and had a heart made of gold. She loved working with her karate students, and there was nothing that filled her heart with more joy than watching them accomplish their goals. She never quite knew just how much our life would change. Later, she'd go to the dojo after a lonely, sleepless night. The tears would have barely dried when she went inside, but she would go because she loved teaching. It brought her comfort and peace.
Don't let nobody hurt you.
We needed that peace. Dad died by suicide, which is a trauma I hope that you would have gotten over, but what a selfish wish. I left you with so many wounds and scars. I live with a lot of guilt for not acting on the red flag that popped into my mind. I constantly think about that rainy Tuesday. If only God had given me the chance to stop him. Does your mind still run away to such agonizing thoughts?
Oh, that's what I keep asking.
For a long time, you spent your days trying to keep your pain at bay, and countless nights with a scream still lodged in your throat. You were so very angry. You felt abandoned by your hero. You used to feel lost, scared, and hopeless. Do you still feel that way? You used to display a brave face on Instagram, yet you still struggled. You miss Dad with your entire being. You long to hear his laugh, listen to his inappropriate jokes, and sing in the car. Country music was your special connection. Does Kenny Chesney's I Go Back still make you want to cry? But as much as you suffered, you continued to live. That dream to be an author came true. You had a blog that was read all over the world. You called it We Got This because of a phrase Mom always used to say. It gave you courage and reminded you that you are capable of great measures. You never wanted to be vulnerable, but when you did, you realized that it wasn't a weakness, but a strength. Your post, The Time Is Now, was the most real you had ever gotten. You told the world about the OCD and anxiety that nearly destroyed you. You recognized the only way to get the help you need is to be honest with yourself and others.
I am who I'm meant to be. This isn't
And real people came to you for advice. How crazy was that? You were called an inspiration. When you realized there was an opportunity to help yourself heal, to share your experience with others, you took it. That camp you attended, that I asked you to speak at their gala to support others, you did it. You turned your grief into a survival guide for others.
One day, the girl behind the wall would be free.
may the angels protect you.
You used to fear that you would never make Dad proud, but I know you do. His personality was contagious, and by sharing stories about him, you kept his humor alive. You promised him that you would carry him with you wherever you went. How many times has Dad been by your side at a job interview or a fancy event, or even one of those days that beat you to your core?
Baby, you're never alone.
And you will always have Mom and Alexa. They are your everything. I love these photos of him hugging me. Their unwavering support gave you courage. As twins, you and Alexa have your differences, but you will always be your person. You can always be your authentic self with her. With Mom, she experienced a great deal of pain, but always managed to push through to make sure her daughters were okay. I bet that Leslie Levitt is the most loving grandmother. I want you to never forget how much you are loved. Never change who you are. You are a daydreaming, karate black belt, country music lover with great determination. Always use that beautiful, curious, imaginative brain to dream big. And remember, Dad is with you every step of the way.
When I see you,
Thank you, Dylan Levitt, for number one, for her courage for sharing her story in such a powerful way. She was 14 when her dad took his life.
Only 2 years ago. It's very fresh.
2 years. I was going to say it's very fresh, very raw, and you're so vulnerable at that age. And the fact that she can share her story in such a powerful way will certainly help others.
And I think a tremendous act of empathy on behalf of her as a young person to look at her father as somebody who was in a tremendous amount of pain himself for this to have happened, and then the introspection required to understand what she's going through, make it public, and help others along the way. It's really powerful stuff.
Yeah, and going through something, when you allow the world to understand what you're going through, you realize people identify with that.
And we should thank Molly Masley, a top-notch
Sure,
producer,
it's great.
who put that piece together. It was very difficult to do. Nice job.
Now, if you or someone you know is experiencing a mental health crisis, you can call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255 or text HELLO to 741-741. We'll be right back.